Right, I am extra tired, but we gotta push through. Gotta push through. Well, oh, I wish I could take a nap right now. Yesterday was library night.
Nobody came.
I had a lot of kids from other schools. I had about 7 or 8 kids there.
Wait, how did people know from
Oh, the teachers tell them. And I had 2 girls from last year, Sarah Bacon and Molly McCabe were there.
Oh, great.
But I did not have anybody from this year. Okay. Now, let's get rocking. So we want to find the average rate of change over these intervals below. First off, let's find f of 0. 0 is my favorite. 0, 0, negative 1. So that gives me an input of 0 and output of negative 1. F of 3, input of 3, output of, squared first, 9, times 2 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9, that's 27, minus 1 is 26. And when I subtract, I get, because I'm doing change in y over change in x now, remember average rate of change is just like slope. So it's going to be 26 minus negative 1, which is 27, over 3 minus 0 is 3, which is 9. So the average rate of change on the f of x1 is 9. Did you say what, or is it the yawn?
I did say what?
Okay, are you with me on that, or did I go too fast?
I lost.
It's all arithmetic. One more time. Ready? Look. If you plug in a 0, 0, 0, negative 1. You get a negative 1. If you plug in a 3, what's 3 squared? What's 3 squared? 9 times 2. 18. 3 times 3. 18 and 9. 27. Minus 1. 26. Now to do the slope, I got to do change in y over change in x. Remember, any point is always x, y. So I do this minus this, which is 27. This minus this, which is 3. And that reduces to 9. Okay? Next up, as defined by the table below, the change in y is 8 minus negative 2 over 3 minus 0, which is 10 over 3, which before, Emma wanted to say, what does that exactly equal? And it equals 3.3 repeating, or 3 1/3. But I really don't think it's necessary to know exactly the value. The thing is, it's bigger than 3, because we're going to order them from greatest to least, like yesterday. So I just care where it is compared to the other 2. Now, next question. This goes from 0, 4 to 3, 8. So change in y over change in x. 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. And again, this is 1 plus. I really don't care that it's 1 1/3 exactly. If you wrote that, it's clearly not wrong. But it's not necessary to write that. All I need to know is that the greatest rate of change is for f of x. The next greatest rate of change is for g of x. And at the end, the smallest rate of change is for h of x. So that is them listed in order. Okay? Any questions? That is a classic kind of question they like to ask on the Regents exam. They always like to ask something about average rate of change, and they like to compare them, so you have to do it more than once. Okay? Can I go forward, or are we good?
Forward.
Forward it is. Actually, we're going to go backwards. Back to number 1. All right, what's 5 to the 3rd, everybody?
125.
125, nice, right? We take the 3, we input it for the x, 5 to the 3rd is 125. Plugging in the next one, what's 10 to the 0? What's anything to the 0? 1. Plus 7 squared is 49, so I get 50. Given the functions, we did that already. You can see how this do it changed slightly from yesterday's. Okay. Which of the brackets notation is equivalent to negative 3 less than x less than or equal to 5? Which one is equivalent there? Hunter? D it is. This means you cannot equal it right here. This one you cannot equal, parenthesis, can equal, stable. Which has the greatest value? Which has the least? Which one's the greatest value there? Which one's the least? Go ahead. B is the greatest because it's 28, and what's the least? D is negative 20, that is the least. So B is greatest, D is least. Any questions? Okay. Again, we're not teaching anything new. we're just taking what we already know, and we are working on it and applying it. Okay, so let me change this to 100%. And go ahead, just like yesterday's question.
Should we do number 3 too?
Hmm?
Should we do number 3?
Yeah. Emma has an excellent idea. Do number 3 also. Another 20 seconds or so. Yep.
I thought I saw you at class 3 yesterday, but it wasn't you.
No, definitely not. Day before it would have been. Yeah. I think, or Sunday or whatever day I went down there.
Okay, so which one of these shows zeros or roots, it's the same exact thing, zeros or roots of -2 and 3? Which one has it there? Go ahead. Choice 1, yes. -2, +3. Any questions? All right, let's go to the next one. And the next one we know we do by putting them into the graphing calculator. And it wants 4 and 6, so this would be choice 4. Y equals x squared minus 10x plus 24. Are we good on that? Okay. Snowstorm question, work together. Go ahead.
You did yesterday. Oh.
God bless.
good. No, because the negative you negate it after. You don't negate it after. I got it. You don't negate it after. Because
Another 2 minutes or so.
negative 5 that you're actually doing to the second time, you don't negate it. Only if that negative is outside of I didn't finish it yet. Hold on. No, I don't think it's. Mr. Lucas,
Yeah.
this is right?
What does that say? Negative, that should be negative 25.
Yeah.
That means square it, then negate it.
Even if it's there's an x squared and then the x value is negative 5, it's still.
If it says x squared and the x value is negative 5, you have to put it in parentheses.
Yeah, so
Because you're plugging in the whole negative 5, and then it'll come out to be positive 25.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
But on the thing, doesn't
Yeah. That is Coach Friend's son, Kevin. He used to do that wrong all the time because he wouldn't want to use parentheses. Whenever you input a negative into that calculator, you have to have parentheses around it.
And it's negative 9. No. Are you trying to put the whole thing in? Oh, it's not that.
Okay, talk to each other about your graphs and make sure that you think that your graphs are right on. Number 7, you should get negative 9 as your answer. Everybody get negative 9 for number 7? When you input the negative 5 to square it, you must put it in parentheses if you're using a calculator. If you don't put it in parentheses, it'll give you negative 25, and you don't want that. X squared here in number 7 means square the value of x. The value of x is negative 5, so I got to square that to get 25. Okay? Are we good? All right, you guys can start your homework.